All right. I hope you're fine. I'm Ayman M. I'm an architect and BIM specialist with 7 years of experience. Today, we'll discuss a little bit about BIM, some terminology, some basic concepts about BIM, and introduction to Revit, and we'll create some basic stuff in Revit. So we are creating this workshop ArchiterraX, and we hope it will be a great one. So without further ado, I'll start now. So I'll share my screen. So the introduction. So this lecture is a brief introduction to BIM and the basics of its widely used software, Revit. Benefits of BIM will understand some of the basic BIM terminology, understand how Revit works, the interface, and we'll create some walls, floors, and doors. This basic stuff in Revit. So BIM. We'll start by what is BIM and the benefits, the dimensions, the LOD, and the standard. Can you please turn off the microphone? Thanks. All right. About me, I'm an architect with 7 years of experience, BIM, Revit, and Dynamo specialist, freelancer, and I create a lot of templates. I create some courses online and trainer, and also I compose music, and all of that is another thing. So what is BIM? We'll understand what is BIM through knowing the benefits of BIM. So we'll be able to create 2D and 3D models. So 2D drawings and 3D models. So everyone's familiar with AutoCAD and with manual drafting. So, but this is a step ahead, and we are creating 3D geometry. So you'll say we create geometry in SketchUp and other software, but in BIM we are creating objects, not just surfaces and planes and solids. So we can do visualization, so we can create images and walkthroughs. So for example, this is a sample view from Inkscape. It's a great tool for Revit, Rhino, and some other software. So we can use the BIM model to create visualizations. We can do coordination and clash detection. So these are the uses in real life. It's basically just trying and testing if we have some examples, for example, like a duct clashing with a wall, or a duct clashing with a cable tray, or window clashing with a column. So it's, let's say, a checking methodology. So we can use it to check if there's any issues in the project. We do that so we can also save time and money in the site. So when we are in the construction site and we have big projects, we don't want to waste any time waiting to solve issues in real life, because the outcomes will be not the best ones. So we can do some analytical models, some analysis to energy, some to wind, let's say, calculations for the HVAC loads, calculations for the best orientation for a building. We can use the models to do that. We can do project planning and management. So I don't know if you are familiar with Primavera and MS Project, but these are softwares that are used to manage projects and, let's say, just know where everything will be delivered. So you can see here we have weeks. So this week 30 13, 14, 15, and you have a breakdown of the activities. So this is Navisworks. So it's a great software for 4D BIM and how to manage projects and how to also solve clashes, the step in the coordination and clash detection. We can do quantity takeoff and bill of quantities. So quantities is a huge part of BIM. And actually, today I just submitted a bill of quantity for a project that's 70,000 square meters with a lot of various materials. So if I so to create it, but we did it only in 2 days just to check the elements. So it's a huge time saver. So quantities is a huge part of the benefits of BIM model. Facility management is something that's used in the bigger projects and the projects that have special uses. So factories, let's say big projects, hospitals, and also in regular projects like hotels and these stuff. So every single element in the model. So you can know when you have to change parts and the project after it's built. You can create 3D printed models from your BIM model. You can use your BIM model for VR and AR, so virtual reality and artificial reality. So these are tools that can be used in the construction of the project or when you're trying to sell something to your client. Because we are currently in the era of having this technology available in most firms or most big firms, to be exact. So to wrap up, here are the benefits of BIM: authoring of 2D drawings and 3D models, visualization, coordination, clash detection, analysis, and project planning and management, quantity takeoff and quantities, facility management, 3D models for both 3D printing and VR and AR. So the shortest answer is that BIM is a simulation of a project. So the project can be a building or can be an infrastructure project, can be a landscape maybe, but mostly it's used for buildings. So when you create the project on your computers, so you'll have a better idea of how everything works together and how to solve issues before they happen in real life. So this saves money and saves and improves the quality of the building in general. All right, so I'll not take a lot of time reading this. I guess maybe you can share the presentation afterwards in PDF format. So BIM dimensions, it's something that's there's multiple sources for that, but the basic idea is that we have names for the dimensions. So we're all familiar with 1D, 2D, and 3D. So we can start with 3D. 3D is 3D geometry that we are all familiar with, especially we are, I guess all of us are architects. So 3D geometry can be anything that you do in any software. It's a 3D model or even a physical model. But we're talking about BIM model, so it have some data associated with it. So first off, you are creating elements like walls, floors, ceiling, and doors, etc. So these elements are smart elements, so you can associate data with them, so you can use them in the cases we talked about, like coordination, clash detection. You can use them for quantity takeoff, facility management, etc. 4D is the time. So constructing a project is taking the 4D elements, and you can let's say, associate dates and delivery dates for different items. So you can put or insert the data to 3D geometry, so you can know how to schedule them. So this is related highly to project management, and also it's related to clash detection. So when you have issues on the site, you can solve them before having them in real life, and you can already save time and money, as we said. Cost is the 5D. So there's a special softwares to track the cost of the material needed for construction or the fees of the teams that working on construction. So the cost is mostly associated also with different systems and elements in the model. Uh, Also, we have 6D. It's performance or facility management. So the part of the facility management we have over here is also inserting data to the model, so you can have you can insert data to the model, so you can have the let's say the management tools, the managerial tool you can use to better manage your building. So these are the dimensions. You have multiple sources for that. You can also search them online and see for yourself. This is the source. It's from Wikimedia Commons. You have also a level of development, the LOD. This is a widely used term. We can use it to refer to the geometry and the details we have in the geometry. So for example, you can see here we have LOD 100. It's a wall that have no details at all. Here you can see it have a material. Here you can see it have studs and like structural elements for the wall itself. Here you can see that we have brackets for the wall. So you can have details that's associated to the construction of the wall. Also, the same can apply to the window. You can see right here. So you have just a square. You have a square with material, a square with material, glass, and the frame, aluminum frame. Here you have some joining details, some basic joins or some basic profile. Here you have the final profile that's constructed in real life, and you can buy that from the manufacturers. So this is the BIM Forum LOD specification. So these are cover pages. This is the from 2017, 18, and 20 standards. These are cover pages, and you can see this online. It's for free. Maybe I can share a link with you afterwards. And here you have the terms used in that standard. So you have LOD definitions, LOD 100, 200, 300, 350, 400, and 500. So these are the, let's say, the names of the LOD that we are using in our projects. Most of the projects are on LOD 300. So you start like in the pre-design phase and the just very conceptual phase in the project. You can start with LOD 100. So LOD 100, it will be just the wall, the rough geometry of the wall. LOD 200, you have schematic design, so you have some materials inside that. You have some decisions already made. You have design development is 300. 350 is the documentation. It's more related to drawings and shop drawings, and also related to the data that will be used in further stages in the project, like 4D and 5D. 400 is the construction phase, so you'll have like the most detailed shop drawings that are created from the LOD 400 models. And LOD 500 is the as-built. So you'll, after the building is built in real life, there will be some surveying, some laser scanning to get the actual built geometry and to to create an LOD 500 model is to reflect these changes in the site. So level of development consists of two parts: level of details and level of information. All right. I see someone said a comment that yes, we'll discuss Revit afterwards. It's just 2 minutes and I'll finish. So level of detail is a part of the level of development. You have level of information also is the second part of the level of development. So for geometry, you have the level of detail. So what you see right here is the actual 3D geometry, and it's developing with the higher LODs. The level of information is for the data associated with the geometry. So standards, we have BIM Forums LOD specification. We have BS 1192. This is British standard. We have BSI PAS 1192.2. We have AEC UK BIM standard for Revit. So these are my preferences for the standards, and most these are like a Bible for them. They are like the holy books that we use, and that's it. So to recap, BIM is the simulation of the project. We have all of these benefits associated with it. You can do this if you have an accurate and correct BIM model with a correct workflow. You have also dimensions for BIM. So dimensions are mostly what we'll use in Revit is the 3D. So Revit is 90% a 3D geometry authoring tool. And also you can create 2D drawings. This is a very important part. 4D and 5D can be done in other software, and 6D, of course. This is LOD specification. This is the most used reference in creating BIM models. We have these designations from 100 to 500, and we have these standards. So there are hundreds of BIM software and platforms, but Revit is one of the most important of them, and one of the most important to learn. So we have the last theoretical thing we'll talk about today is the Revit hierarchy. So Revit hierarchy, it's using objects. So we have 3D objects that are categorized into multiple items. We have walls, floors, doors, ceiling, windows. So these main items are called categories. So here you can see we have a category, and example of it is a door. The second thing in the category is the second most, let's say, the second step of the element classification of it is the family. So you have, for example, a single flush door, so it have one pane only. So afterwards we have a type. So from this single flush door, you can have an example, a door that's 1,000 millimeters by 2,200 millimeters. An instance is the door that is inside the model itself. So it's a single door in the model. These elements have something called the ID, and ID is a number, 6 to 7 digits number inside Revit. This is a unique number that can't be duplicated inside the same file. So let's go to Revit. All right. Here's Revit. You can see we have this big screen. It's showing a white canvas, and you can see we have some elevation symbols in the 4 directions.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I mean, you have to share your entire screen. Right now, we are seeing the presentation.
All right, I'm sorry. All right, wait a second. So it's good now. Can you see my screen?
No, your screen is not visible.
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, all right. So as I said, we have this white canvas. We have this is a floor plan. An example. This is the first thing you can see when you open Revit. You have to the side. You can see the properties palette. In the properties, you have a lot of data. They're intimidating at first, but you'll understand them with time. In the right, you can see the project browser. So you can see this is project browser. It shows all the elements inside our file. So we have floor plans, we have ceiling plans, we have elevations, we have legends, schedule sheets, families, groups, and links. So for now, we don't have sections. So you can draw section easily. So I can just click here and draw a section. And once you draw it, it's visible right here. If you delete it, it will be deleted from here. So every view you have in the model will be listed in the project browser. You have the tools up here. You have the architectural, structural, steel systems. We'll not use that as architects. You will use insert, annotate. We'll use massing and site. Collaboration, you'll use this in the offices. So, and when you have a team with many architects, you'll be forced to use this tab. You have this view here. You can create the views and create the sheets and the drawings you'll need. Here's the tab that will be used to manage your model. It's mostly some settings that you'll use to better enhance the performance of the model and to set up, for example, snaps, units, materials. Add-ins, it's some added software to Revit, and here you can see the modify tools. It's like the basic tools that trim, mirror, rotate, move, this kind of stuff. So if we go back to architecture, here you can see we have the wall tool. So if we click on it, you can see this cursor changes to this plus sign. You can click and it automatically draws walls. And you can see that we have some smart snaps going on. So when I just move my cursor right here, it shows that it will be snapped to it. You can click escape twice to get out of the order of creating walls. You can click on the wall itself and drag this point. It will join automatically. You can move this by using the mouse, drag and drop. Drag the wall. You can do this by clicking the keyboard. I'm clicking on the down button on my down arrow on my keyboard. You can select this wall and change this dimension. It's called temporary dimension. So you'll have to check this stuff by yourself to understand how it works, but it's very easy. So we have also a tool that's called door. It's a category and also a tool to draw doors. So you can just highlight in the model and click, and it will open the door. And it needs a wall to be hosted on. So if we created another door, you can't create it in the white canvas or anywhere, but you need a wall. So this is the part and of the basics of how Revit works. So you can see that Revit is understanding that I need to put a door, so I need to put it in the wall. So you can't like draw a door in a ceiling. This will be just not right. You will also create window. You can create it in the walls themselves. You can't draw a window outside the walls. So this is one of the first mistakes you'll get in. Maybe if you don't know how Revit works, you just click door and you can't do anything. So it's a little bit frustrating. So the things that we learned until now, that we have walls, we have doors and windows. Walls are geometry that we can draw in the model, and doors and windows are stuff that are hosted on it. So if we go to this button right here, the 3D view, you can see that we have this 3D view that opened right here, and this 3D view is showing us the elements. We can select the walls and drag the height and change it. We can select this wall and also type a number right here. So you have this thing, it's called unconnected height. So if we put the number 5,000, it will change. If we drag this, you can see the number is changing. So it's multiple ways to change the height of the wall. You can also put a small number and see the difference. There's one thing that's frustrating for most users, for most beginner users, is if we change this number from 8,000 to 5,000, for example, you don't see any change. So, but if we just move the mouse to the right, you can see it's changing. You can also do this by clicking on apply. But actually, when you work and you have to do this stuff quickly, you'll just do the way of moving the mouse because it's faster. And that's it. All right. You can now select these walls. There's something called chain selection. So if you click, if you highlight on the wall, and click tab, mouse, and all the walls are now nicely leveled. Also, if I change to 3,000, it also changes. So another thing you can do, and it's the most, let's say it's the correct way to do it, is to select these walls and associate the top part of them with a level. So levels are also elements inside Revit. So we have, you can see that we have this level, it's called level 1. We have level 2. You can create extra level also. You can change the name of the level. You can say ground floor. You can change this to make it first floor. You can move it, and we can change the number, the height of the level. You can associate these walls with it. So if we click highlight on the wall and click tab, and click on this button right here, it's called top constraint. So if you click on here and select the first floor, you just see that these walls are now connected to the level 2. So if you change the height of level 2, it will change automatically. You can drag it around upwards or downwards. So here's the most basic way to create an you just change your mind and want to have a higher level, you can just type the number or drag the level, and the walls will automatically update. Right. We can click WT, and we'll have the windows tiled beside each other. So also the most important use for Revit for students, you can use this wall, you can select this wall and move it in the 2D. It will update on the 3D. So you can also change the location of this wall. You can change the location, the height of this wall, but this will not show because it's a plan view. You can now take a section in the wall and make it show this part of the project, for example, or let's say this part. You can right click on the section and select go to view. So you'll have this section view right here. Let me just move this to the side so you can have a bigger room. So here's the door. You can click WT again. So here you see the door. When I select it on the section, it's selected also on the plan and selected on 3D. If I move this door, it will move in all views. So this is the great thing that makes everyone wants to start using Revit as a student. You can see this is the wall that's already cut in the section. You can just change the height right here and change. So I guess this is a very, let's say, direct and straightforward concept. You have also, if you select the walls, and you can change this parameter is called top offset. So for example, if you select this wall, you can make it -100. You will have it slightly below the I'm sorry, I lost my connection. Can you hear me now and see my screen?
Yes.
All right. All right. Am I discussing this too fast? Do you want me to just slow down a little bit? All right, I'm fast. All right. I'll show how to create a section. All right, no worries. Let me close this section. I want to close the 3D view. By default, when you install Revit, you'll have the section right here. You can see it upwards. Click on it and drag from left to right. You can change the depth of the view of the section. You can move the section around. You can, if you go, you can see this section. It's open side on the right side of the screen. So this is called section 2. If you select it, also you can see the name of the section is right here. It's called section 2. If you go to section 2 and use the WT command to tile the windows, you see that this section will change its location on section 2. You can delete it and it will disappear. You have this, you can change the location right here, and that's it. So these will be the tools you'll use in your day-to-day life. I urge you very much to create a lot of walls in your life, because after 10 years of using Revit, I'm still creating walls most of the time. Like these are the most basic elements and most used elements. It have a lot of settings. We can't just, unfortunately, we can't discover them right now. So, but to guide you where you can find this settings, you can go to right here. You can select the different types of walls. You can select. You can also choose this setting right here. It's called detail level. If you click on it, you have 3 detail levels: coarse, medium, and fine. So here you can see the detail level of the wall is changed and all the elements right here. You can click on edit. Here you can see the most used window to change the thickness of the walls. To change the thickness, the material, and the layers you have. If you click on preview, you will see a detailed or zoomed in version of the wall. So you have layers inside the wall. You can insert new layers. You can assign thicknesses for them. So when you put that thickness, you'll see it update right here. If you delete the layer, it will go. You can add a different layer, different thickness. You can move these layers upwards and downwards. So you want this layer to go up or down. So need to just tweak around in this menu so you can know how to change layers. You can change the function of the layer. So you don't want to have the smaller layers assigned to structure. They are finishes most of the time. Let's delete those. You can change the thickness of the material right here. So for example, if you want 250, unfortunately, there's no block that concrete masonry units or block work that are this thickness. So we can make it 150 or 100 or 700. Sorry, this 700 millimeter, 70 millimeters, this 7 centimeters. You can change the finish thickness right here. So if you calculate the number, the total number, it's 0.1. I'm sorry, it's 100 millimeters for all the layers of the wall. If you click OK, you'll see it changed right here. You can use a different type. You have also the, for example, if you take this wall, you can make it, if you scroll down, you can make it a curtain wall. If you go to 3D, you can see this change to a curtain wall. You can just drag this upwards or downwards. And you can use this top offset setting. So you can change this in the way you like. Say that's 800. Something that's minus 106, maybe. You can extend this wall. If you go to show the two views together, you can extend this. And see it's changed in 3D. You can change it on the 3D and change in the 2D. You can use the, if you go to modify, you can use the tool called align. So the align tool can be found right here. This is the align. If you select, you have, you first have to click on the destination and click on the object you want to align. The same you can do right here. If you click on align, click on the destination and click on the object. You can create another wall. For example, if we want to close this as a room, let's use, I want to create a new type. I want a generic wall that's 100 millimeters, but I don't want to edit this one. I don't want to lose this type right here. So I click on it, click on edit type, click this right here, duplicate, and name it 100 millimeters. Click OK. Then go to edit structure so you can change the thickness. You go to the thickness right here and click and type down 100. Click OK. Let's click OK. So now we have this type. It's called generic 100. if we draw right here, you can see you have a wall. You can use the tool again. You have something called the location line. So this is designated to this is designates the side you want to use to create your wall. So it's currently its own wall center line. So if you zoom in and click, you can see that my mouse is exactly at the middle of the wall. If you change this to finish face exterior, for example, and click, you can see that my mouse currently and the line that's I'm using to locate where the wall is right now is on the top side of the wall. If you select the interior side, it will be the same but flipped. These those. You can also draw walls on 3D. You can change the height of the wall before drawing it. So by default, you'll have this unconnected wall to 8,000. I want it to be associated with the first floor. So if I click on it and I draw any new wall, it will be associated with the floor right here. Of course, I want to delete those. And for me, this is too high. I want to make it 3,200. And as you can see, when I change the level, the height of this curtain wall changes because it's associated with the top level, and it's always taking an offset of minus 1,600 millimeters. I can change this. I can make this unconnected, and I can make this always to be 2,400, for example. You can so you have this curtain wall reaching to this side. If we delete the curtain wall, you can draw a better type of curtain wall. If you just move this to the side, I want to make the side this bigger, this elevation, and I want to draw a new wall. If I go down, I can go to storefront and click on when this temporary dimension is highlighting to 1,000. I want to start drawing. I want to make this 5,500. So as you can see, when I draw this curtain wall, it cuts the part of the wall. So you have only the curtain wall showing right here. It's not clashing with it. So if we select this wall and put this dimension to unconnected 2,400, you can see that we have the wall covering the extra part that is missing from the curtain wall. So this is now an accurate model. You'll have your model to have you have your model with like curtain wall inside the big block wall. Everything clear until now? Do you have any questions? All right, how to create curve tool. So let's put a curve on this side. So if you go to architecture, all right, I'll explain the curtain wall again. Let me just draw a curve tool. If you go to architecture, click on the wall tool. I want to draw a simple generic 200 wall. You can see that there is these tools right here. These tools are for modeling. So it's by default, it's drawing lines. You can click on this rectangle. So I click on this side. It creates rectangles. Right? You can click on this. It creates a polygon. Here's another type of polygon. That's one of them is inside the circle, one outside. You have circles right here. And you have the start and radius arc. You have the start and end radius arc. So you click again. You click on this point from the, for example, to the left and to the right. Then you can move the mouse and click where the end point you want. You can click this again and do something like that. Also, you have this tool that's creating a center end arc. So you click right here. You create the center of the circle, and you take the radius of the circle. Then you can change the arc length. For example, I want it to be like that. So these are the ways to draw curved walls. You have this fillet arc tool. You have this tangent end. So you'll have to try it by yourself. If you click this, you can click the first wall and the second wall, and create this curve between two straight lines or straight walls. Now, you said you wanted to discuss the curtain wall again. So if I draw a wall right here, go to architecture wall and click from left to right. This is a basic wall. So do you remember we talked about the hierarchy of Revit? So we have door, you have the different sizes of the door, you have all the instances of the door inside your model. So the category for the walls, so the classification for the wall, you have the first thing is the category, it's called wall. The second thing is the family. So in the wall, you have only 3 families. The first one is called basic wall. If you scroll down, you can see something called curtain wall, and you can see stacked wall. So if we use this family, you have these types. All of these are types that are from the basic wall family. And these are instances of the types that are located inside your model. So this one, this one, this, and this, for example, all of them are the same type. All of them, of course, are the same family. It's called basic wall. And all of them are walls. This is right here is the name of the category. So again, you have these are instances. These are the type name, the family name, and the category name. So we want to we modeled this wall in the on the plan, and you can see it in 3D. Now we want to create another wall. So if we click on the tool, if you go to storefront, it's a type of the curtain wall, and clicked inside the wall itself from left to right, you see you have this wall right here, this curtain wall. You can drag this. When you drag it, I'm sorry. When you drag this, it will just fill the part that is not curtain wall. Just fill it with the actual wall we already modeled. You can move this to the left and right, up and down. You can also make this have an offset. So that's it. It looks like a window now, but that's the idea. You can delete it, and you have your wall the same way you want. There's also a tool that's called Edit Profile. You can click on the wall and click right here and draw a shape, like an opening of any shape you want. Click OK. So here you have an opening inside the wall. You can put some shadows. You can see that these shadows are adaptive right here. You can also change the visibility setting right here. You can make this wireframe. You can make this hidden. You can switch off the shadows. You can make this also shaded or consistent colors. You can make this realistic, but actually it looks very bad. It's ugly. Indeed, you can change the materials of the wall. You can use this setting, ray trace. It just renders it in the using ray tracing technology. I guess it's taking some time on my PC. Let me just close it. I'm sorry, I want to fix this. Fix this. Just wait a second. I'll share my screen again. All right, so this is the tool you can use to, it's called the profile. You can use it to change the shape of the wall. If you want to create an opening, you can drag these handles to left and right and create the changes to the wall. So let's continue now. We can just make some changes to the model. We want to make this a different type. You can click this and go to modify. You can use this to change the properties. So if you click on this one, click on the wall you want, click on the, let's say, source and the target. So these walls now are from the same type. Let's read this section. I want to create better looking windows. You can select the window and choose a different type. You can select this one and choose a different family. You can see it right here on the 3D. You can select this one and create a copy. So click right here and move it to the side and you have a copy. You can move those together. You can move the door to the side. You can change the type because it's an external door. Unfortunately, you don't have a bigger size, so you can create a bigger size from this door. If you go to edit type, duplicate, and let's say you want to put 1000 by 2000. So this is the name of the new type. Let's make this the height 2000 and the width 1000. Click OK. So you have a bigger door. You can rename this, make it 1200 and change the size right here. The even bigger door. And as you see, the changes I made on this door did not affect anything on this door. So we want this as a back door. We want our front door to be, for example, right here. Let's delete this and make this our side door. We want to have, let's move this to the side. We want to have wall. Actually, I'm using some shortcuts because I'm used to that. You can click on the wall. You can just type WA. If you click WA, you go instantly to the wall tool. So I want to create an internal type, for example, a generic 100. And want the location line to be the interior side. If we have this case, you can just click on the spacebar and you'll flip the wall. This is a useful tool, useful technique. You can have this move to the side. Again, we can use the align tool from modify. If you click right here, we can create some other rooms in the project. So you can use the order. It's called create similar. So if you type CS, it will create a copy, or let's say a similar type of this wall. For example, these are two walls. If I want to create a new door, the shortcut is DR. If you click on architecture, you can see the shortcut right here is DR. You can click on the space also to flip the direction of the door. You can have a corridor right here. You can drag this. And actually, I'll not design this now because it's not the subject of this training. So you have these rooms, or let's say these empty spaces. You can put something called room. If you go to architecture, there's something called room right here. Click on that right here and right here, and you can see these rooms are placed. If you click on the room, you can just name it. Let's say this living room. This is, for example, kitchen, and this is bedroom. It's the worst plan I ever created, but it serves the idea. So these are the rooms you have. If you just move your mouse and highlight it, you have this object. This object is very useful in real life because you can create a list of thousands of rooms in your model using a tool called schedule, or using schedules inside of it. This is a little bit advanced, so I'll not use it. Also, you can create floors. For now, we don't have any floors, so if you select all the geometry, you can see that it's an empty space right here. If we go to the architectural tab, you can move to the right and see this tool. It's called floor. If you click on it, it gets you to a menu that you can use to draw like a closed boundary. So if you click on this tool, the line, click from this side to this side, click from here to here. You have a closed boundary, and you can click OK, and here you have a floor in the model. So our building is beginning to look like a 3D model that's having different elements. You can see this window is very bad. The location is not good. I want to change the size also. I want to make it higher. We want to have some extra windows for the rooms. You can see the rooms are very large. We can make them a little bit smaller. We want to delete this wall. Stupid, actually. Don't need it. We can click on this floor and edit boundary. You can delete these lines. You can drag this one, drag this one. Click OK, and here's the floor that's looking nice. So we want to make this thicker. You can also change the type. So we have the floor is the category. The name of the family is also floor, and the types, they are listed right here. And of course, you can create new types and edit existing types. I want to create this, to make this generic 300. I want to copy this one to the other level. So I can click on copy, click on paste, but not the big one. I want to click on the drop down and select align to selected levels. Click on the first floor because I want this floor to be on the first floor, and click OK. So here you can see you have this bounded correctly. The issue right here is that we have the wall clashing with the floor above. So what we want to do now is to select all the walls. You can do this by clicking on Control, and this will add extra walls to the selection. So these are the external walls. You can also select these internal walls from right here, and you can change the top offset. So you have this top offset parameter right here. You want to make it minus 300. When you do that, it will fit perfectly because the floor we have is 300 millimeters. You just subtracted this number from the height of the wall. So let's check our work again. If we click on the section and click on this tool right here, click on this wall, you can use this to flip the direction. Let's right click and go to view. Here you can see this is the section we have. We can click on the detail level and make it fine. You don't see any changes because the elements you're using are very simple. You can do a trick so you can have a nicer presentation. If we move this to the side, you can go to something called view. It's called visibility graphics. This is a setting that's associated with the view itself. So if you click on the visibility graphics, you can go right here and see this is a list of all the categories you have in Revit. What I want to change now is the walls and the floors. I want to make the walls to have a custom cut pattern that is only visible in this view. This will not change anything inside the wall itself, but it will change how the wall is looking inside this view. If we click right here, you can see this is cut. You can see patterns. You can scroll down and click on override. When you click it, you can see we have a window that's using foreground and background patterns. We'll want to use only the background. I'm sorry, the foreground. You click on solid fill and click OK. And click OK again. You see the walls we have are now black. You can do the same for the floors. If you click on visibility graphics again, scroll down until you see floors, click on the patterns, click on the pattern to be a solid fill, and click OK. You can apply it to see the changes before that. You can see this is looking very bad because you don't have any designation. So we can change the color of the walls. If you go down, you click on this box and you can override the color. You can use this gray color and click OK, click apply. You have some changes right here. You can make the doors brown, for example. So if you go to visibility graphics again, if you click on D, you'll see the categories starting with D. Here are doors. I'm sorry, I clicked on the wrong button. So this is solid fill. For example, we have, I'm bad with colors. It's not brown. This is green. This is reddish brown. It's orange. Anyway, you can click OK. You can see we did not have a change because I did a mistake. The mistake is I changed the cut button. Currently, we're seeing the door as an elevation. We're not cutting the door, so I'll just clear the override and click the same on the patterns right here. We click right here, click the solid fill, click the override, click on this one now. Click OK, OK, apply. You see it changed. You can change the overrides of the walls. So the cut pattern is this gray color. The projection, we can make it a solid fill or any other pattern, and we can make it this light gray. These are rooms. Rooms are 3D elements, but are only visible in 2D. Will not be bothered with them. Actually, you can see this is a white wall because if we go right here, you see we can't, it's not looking to the end of the view. If we change this, go to section, here you can see that you have this section correctly. Looking nice. Right. I guess we have 20 minutes. For now, we created this this project. It's a very small project, but it have curtain walls, doors, windows, and floors. With these tools, you'll be able to create a lot of stuff. There's something that's useful. It's the family. I want to close these. You can use the families, the loadable families. If you click on component, you can see we have some desks, some trees, and some stuff that's not useful for you. So if you use this desk, you can click on it and put it in the view right here and right here. I go to 3D. If you select this one, you can hide it using this glass. So you can just select hide element. This is a temporary hide. So you have this desk right here. It's facing the wall. You can drag it in 3D. You can click space. So you can just move the, you can rotate it. This is another desk. So the thing that's just frustrating in the beginning when you use Revit is you don't have anything just anything other than tables. You can go to Insert tab, click on that family. You have this. It opens to the default location on your PC, and it have the some of the families project. You can go backwards and use another template. I installed everything because there's many good stuff. For example, I want to have furniture. I want to have some beds. Here you can see you have some different types of beds. I want this one, the box. Click OK. Now it's loaded in the project. You can make sure of this when you go to this on the right side, click on the plus. The category is called furniture. You just loaded furniture. Here's the bed. So here we have the furniture is the name of category. This is the family. These are the types. The desk, it have the same stuff. It's already loaded in the project. You can use this. Menu right here. It's called the visibility graphics that you used on the section, and go scroll down to the rooms. If you select this and click on this button, click apply, it will hide the rooms and it will hide the tags that are associated with them, so you can have a nicer plan, and click OK. So we want to create a bed. If you click on component, here you can see we have the beds that we just inserted into our file. So this is a huge bedroom, but does the job. you can just select all of this and click the down arrow. It's also very huge still. You want only one office, you want to move this to the side. That's an example. We want to make this right here, want to delete this. All right. You can also load a lot of other components. If you click on insert again, load family, have seating, have different types of seats. You have tables. For example, let's have this dining table with chairs. You can see it's just appeared right here. If you go to component again, you have this dining table with multiple options for chairs. So let's have this middle one. All right. You can, there's I saw a question a few minutes ago that if we want to make a door inside the curtain wall. So if you click on pen, excuse me, I guess this is a workshop for ArchiterraX. Maybe you shouldn't be posting your phone numbers right here. They'll get mad at you. So this is the panel. We want to change this. If we click on the pen, and if you go to these types, you can change the type. Now we want to have something that's a door. You don't have a door in the default template, so you can go to insert again, load family, go back, go to doors, and you can see this curtain wall double glass. You want a single glass door. Here it is. Just click open. Let's tap and select the panel. Go to the panel again and select this curtain wall. So here you have a door to the, we should flip the side, the location. So it's this door, it opens to the outside. So we'll have a lot of other categories. You can have columns, roof, ceiling. We discussed floors. You have curtain walls. You have a lot of details inside them. Railing, stair, and ramp. All of these are categories inside Revit that will help you to create great projects and huge projects and simple projects at the same time. You have a lot of settings inside the walls. So these walls will have, you can do a lot of stuff using this. You can change materials also. So if you click on these dots, you can explore this new territory. You have a lot of materials to choose from. Knowledge will be great one to, some knowledge will be great so you can create real projects that are realistic. If you're a student, it will get you great marks and will make you stand out from the rest of your colleagues. If you know Revit and they don't. I've been there actually 10 years ago. I was third year in school and it was very great for me. I saved time and also had some great experience using the software. And actually these days I make my living using this one. So it will be the future. You all have to learn it in the best way possible. I guess maybe the admins at ArchiterraX will post something related to this workshop. Maybe we'll create some courses, or create crash courses, maybe detailed courses if you're an advanced user. So we'll have a lot of options. I guess this is will be for later time. Maybe you have something to submit. Anyway, so do you have some questions related to what we discussed today?
If anyone has any doubts, you guys can type it out in the chat box.
Yes. Where is BIM? BIM was the first 15 minutes on the class. Okay, how to insert a door inside the curtain wall. I'll just click on Control Z. Right, you have this curtain wall. If you zoom to the point you want to create the door, you just click on tab. When you're highlighting on the panel itself, you click on it and use unpin so you can change it. Then you can go to insert, you can load the family. You go to the library you have. I'm using this US metric. You go to doors, you go to a type that's door dash curtain dash fold dash single dash glass. Use this one, open it. You can select this one, this panel, click on the door, click on the type selector and click right here. Spacebar to change the orientation of the door. How to create staircases? I guess not, I'm sorry, but it's a little bit advanced and we don't have time for it now. I'm very sorry. You can explore it on your own, but it's a little bit tricky. I don't want to go rushing through it right now. Is any certificates? I guess ArchiterraX will answer that. Other questions? Any automation that can be done on Revit? Any insights into IFC files? Automation, you can do automation in Revit. It's Dynamo, the automation inside Revit. It's a great tool that allows us to create custom-made graphs to automate a lot of stuff and also to dive down inside the parametric design realm. It's something advanced, but it's very interesting to use. I guess it will be when you first learn some basic stuff in Revit, you can dive inside Dynamo. I don't know if maybe we can just plan a course for Dynamo. We'll conduct future courses. There will be crash courses and you can learn Revit quickly. So if you have a project for college or whatever, I guess 10 hours will be great to learn everything you'll need inside Revit correctly and efficiently.
Thank you, Ayman, so much.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. All right, guys. So